The seventh layer is the application layer. The application layer of the OSI model provides a set of interfaces that enable user-end applications to access network services such as file sharing, message handling, and database access. The protocol data unit, or PDU, at this layer is data. Some protocols that operate at this layer include HTTP, FTP, DHCP, and SMTP. Components at this layer include client-side and component-side. For example, Unix Linux Networking File System Client provides access to shared file resources on the server. Problems at this layer include missing or misconfigured client or server software. Also, application layer protocols are more susceptible to network disruptions. The sixth layer is the presentation layer. The PDU used at this layer is data. The presentation layer receives information from the application layer and formats the data to be sent across the network. This formatting is required by the other application for it to be able to be read correctly. Protocols that are used here are MIME, SSL, TLS, and XDR. Problems that may occur at this layer include incompatible or missing translation software. This would cause the other application to not be read correctly.
This is the session layer, or layer 5 in the OSI model. This layer controls the connections between the computers that are sending and receiving the connections. This layer manages and terminates the connections between the local and remote application, and also provides a full duplex, half duplex, or simplex operation. An operation, also called checkpointing, is done here, and this is where it syncs two related streams of data together. The protocols used in this layer are sockets and session establishments in TCP, RTP, and PPTP, and the PDU is still data at this layer. This is the transport layer, or layer 4 in the OSI model. The transport layer manages the data transfer from one application to another across a network, and it breaks data streams up into segments. This is where the PDU is converted into segments, and the protocols used are TCP and UDP. The maximum transmission unit is segments that can only be a certain size for different network technologies. For example, Ethernet connection, the MTU is 1,518 bytes. These must be small enough for the network and data link layer headers and not exceed the MTU. This includes flow control and acknowledgements and handles resequencing segments into the original data on receipt. This layer also encapsulates the data and adds a header that includes the source and the destination port numbers. TCP headers have a sequence and acknowledgement numbers that ensure the data is sent. The window size is the maximum amount of data that can transfer before the sender requires an acknowledgement. Some problems are the segments are too long for the medium and the network layer has to fragment segments.
The third layer is the network layer. The function of the network layer is to resolve IP addresses to MAC addresses using the Address Resolution Protocol. Also, this layer determined the best path for the data to travel to get to its destination. The network layer also adds the IP header to the data, creating the PDU at this level, a packet. The protocols operating at this level include IP, ARP, and ICMP. Common errors at this level include incorrect routing configuration as well as other router errors. The data link layer is the second layer. Packets are encapsulated by source and destination MAC addresses as the header and a CRC as a trailer, creating the PDU at this layer, a frame. The MAC layer and the LLC layer. The MAC layer determines how a computer gains access to data as well as obtaining permissions to transmit data. The LLC layer handles flow control and error checking.
The physical is the first layer of the OSI model. The layer converts bits into signals for outgoing messages and converts signals into bits for incoming messages. Then it generates these signals onto the medium. These signals are represented by ones and zeros on the network medium, called encoding. Electrical volts or light pulses represent the ones and zeros depending on the medium. Components that operate here include cables and their connectors, repeaters, and hubs. Problems that may occur at this layer include incorrect media, termination, electromagnetic interference, and misconfigured network interface cards or hubs.
One, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boys say they want some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna be a buzz like I had last week. I must stay deep, cause talk is cheap. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really bag you, my lord. To me, flirting is just like a sport. Anything fly, it's all good. Let me jump in, please sing in the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side.